Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Here on a Saturday morning here in the UK. Got my cup of tea or chada cup or whatever you guys want to call it, chai as some people might call it. So yeah, today match preview of course for tomorrow's match. Another it will be around about this time actually, 11 UK kickoff time for Inter versus Udinese. Home match against Udinese. Apparently, it's going to be a good turnout as well at the Meazza Stadium. It's going to be around 50,000 people are expected at the Meazza, which is really, really good because remember, we still have the reduced capacity at the moment in Italy, and 50,000 is pretty much full, sold out. That's pretty much the most Inter can put in. I think it's around 75% maximum, and yeah, it's getting close to being a full sellout. So very well done to Interisti, always backing this team no matter what happens. Our fan base always deserves a lot of credit. Good morning, Sharif, coming in. Got Iva in the house as well, who's you know he is he saw the thumbnail and he's seen what the theme is going to be for this match preview, and Indra as well. You know, from the thumbnail looks as if I'm gonna get dedicated to a Rick Astley song. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Yeah, I mean, we hope it seems at the moment it seems like we got Rick rolled by Denzel and Mino Raiola, but we'll see. This could be the the redemption match for Denzel Dumfries, and that is why when I make my thumbnails, I always choose someone for a reason. So last match round I chose Alexis and Pinamonti because I thought they're going to be the key players. This time around I've chosen Denzel Dumfries for Inter, obviously redeeming himself from that disappointment from the Juve match, and clearly he's been affected by it because of the fact that D'Ambrosio went to him after scoring that goal against Empoli. He went to the bench to celebrate with Dumfries. It means that these guys do read what's going on social media. These guys know what's the slander that they're receiving online, the newspaper articles that have been written about them. So they do know these things. And yeah, even though he might not know Italian, Denzel knows what's going on. So that's why I've picked Denzel Dumfries. And for Udinese, the guy I picked is looking a bit like a criminal in the thumbnail. Pereira, who is the main man for Udinese after Rodrigo De Paul left. Ivar asks, "Do you know why Juve have so many empty seats?" I saw against the Sassuolo. Yeah, they're having issues with that because it's first of all it's a smaller stadium, so their capacity reduced means that I think the full capacity is like 41,000 or something. So already even if they did full sellout at the moment, would be only 20,000. But yeah, I've seen Juve fans posted, they're just struggling at the moment. They're not doing well. The fans are not going into stadium. Simple as that. The things are not going well. Last season, Pirlo just about snuck into the fourth place. It's a club that's won for 9 years in a row, and they're not playing good football either. It's not like you go to the Juve Stadium, especially with this Allegri team. You're not really going to get much of a spectacle, are you? All these 1-0 wins, or last match round, 2-1 loss. So you're not really getting much value for money either. So that's what it is. So obviously they have to do better with their marketing, with their sales, but they have to improve on the pitch. It's the same with Inter. If you go back to our Banter era, we weren't getting these kind of numbers that we are getting these days. It's just how it is. Fans, they want to see good football. They want to be excited, like Julian is. He's excited for tomorrow, which is interesting because this is not a match I'm excited for. Because Udinese, as I've put in the description, as I put down below, we need to assemble our anti-terrorist task force for these guys, because these guys are the certified terrorists of Serie A. These guys are jihadis. These guys are the ISIS, UDINESE. I like to call these guys because I'm not even exaggerating. I've got the stats to back it up, because they were terrorists when De Paul was there, and now that Rodrigo De Paul is gone, miss Rodrigo, but now that De Paul is gone, they're even worse. If we get the average possession stats in the Serie A, as you can see there, Napoli right at the top with 59% on average, and Udinese right down at the bottom with 41.6, even lower than Salernitana and Cagliari, who have been absolutely awful. So that just tells you all you need to know about Udinese. They do not care about keeping the ball. They do not care about making the match, good to watch. Let's see how many shots per game do they have. Shots per game, they're not too bad. At least they have around 12.4, which puts them kind of mid-table. So they do they're efficient with their possession. They're not, they're not like the other teams at least. So they do try to do something. And goals wise, where are they? 17th in the league, only 12 goals. So they're just averaging 1 goal a match for the moment. So yeah, it's not really a match I'm looking forward to, because it is always a difficult match against Udinese. If we look at the head-to-head as well, apart from the last one in the last season, the 5-1, but that was when things were already decided. Udinese were already safe. I think Inter by then had already won the title. It was kind of that freestyle, autopilot Conte team that were just uh, picking teams apart at the end of the season. So I would kind of ignore this result, but you can see all the other ones have been pretty close. The 0-0 actually at their stadium was probably the last bad result Conte's team had before going on that amazing run to the Scudetto. So it's probably the kick that match was probably the kick up the arse that team needed to just get things over the line. But yeah, even before that, uh, the season before it was 2-0 away, and then before in the match before that 1-0, and then 0-0, 1-0. So it's been very, very close matches. Overall, Inter obviously have the better of them. 9 goals for Inter, 1 goal for Udinese over the last um, matches or so. Mostly Inter wins. No wins for Udinese recently, but it's not a match to underestimate at all. Let's have a look at the predicted lineups as well going into Inter. The Sky Sports usually are the most accurate, as my experience tells me. And it looks like Ranocchia is coming in. He was rumored in the previous match as well, but he didn't get the start. Skriniar rested in the last match, so it makes sense for Skriniar to come back in, and then it makes sense to rest Stefan de Vrij, who I've been saying, I feel like he does need rest. He now plays for Holland as well in the international break, which he didn't used to have to do before, because Van Gaal is preferring him to um, De Ligt. So it makes sense for Ranocchia to come in, and it makes sense for Ranocchia to come in because of the player, the striker that Udinese have up front, who is called Beto. Sky Sports don't even have the photo for him, but he's the top scorer at the moment this season, and he's a 6'3", 6'4" striker who has been causing trouble in the air for teams this season. He's a Portuguese international. I don't know if he's international, but he's a Portuguese player. Who's actually been decently impressive, and he's also said that he's an Interista, or that he grew up supporting Inter. I saw an interview that he likes Inter, and we know what these types of players usually are like against Inter. They usually seem to score against Inter. So yeah, it makes sense for on a number of levels to start Nokia to keep an eye on Beto in terms of height and aerial threat, but also just to rest the Rai finally. And yeah, we've seen Ranocchia over the years that he's proven to be a good backup when needed. And yeah, let's see if Inzaghi manages to keep his level high as Conte did. Brozovic, of course, starting. Hopefully, if the match, we have to start looking ahead to the Milan derby as well, which is next weekend. We've got the Sheriff match, of course, before, which is really, really important still. But we have to start thinking about the Milan derby as well. We want to make sure that the best players are there, ready, fit, and fresh, not too tired going into that match. So hopefully Brozovic can be substituted around 60th, 70th minute if Vidal can drop in there, or Gagliardini can go in there, or even if you put someone else, or Sensi can go in there. We'll see. Barella has been kind of the vice Brozovic up until now, but he can't be the vice Brozovic when they're both usually on the pitch at the same time. So let's see who Inzaghi thinks can take that mantle when Brozovic isn't there. Hakan coming back in, I agree. He needs to. It's a few redemption actually matches. We talked about Dumfries already, but Hakan as well, who's been up and down. I haven't. You guys know my thoughts. I've been kind of protecting Hakan. I really don't feel like he's been as bad as people are making out to be, but he definitely still has a lot to convincing to do, and he's obviously trying to play to start in the Milan derby. He wants to start that match. I'm sure he doesn't care if he doesn't play for the rest of the season, but he wants to play against AC Milan, and I'm sure he's looking to try to score against Milan. So he wants to impress in this match, and yeah, we need Hakan to play at a high level with Vidal coming in as well. Vidal looks like he was pretty much, becoming the left centre mid of choice, because we saw his performances were convincing. And against Sheriff, he put in, a really good performance. His substitute performances have also been good. And then, unfortunately, just before the Juve match, he had that flu-like symptoms, or he was taken down with some little illness, which stopped his little positive run. But hopefully, he's back fully 100% fit. I've seen he bought a new Fiat Panda as well over the weekend, and he posted on Instagram some mint colored Fiat Panda. So he's got the Ferraris and he got the Fiat Panda. So he's got interesting taste in cars. But yeah, hope Vidal is back at his best, and we need him. We need his runs into the box, his late runs into the box, that kind of goal scoring ability with Udinese, who will be sitting back deep. It's really vital that we have someone like him who breaks the lines with his runs off the ball, and maybe someone like Brozovic and Hakan trying to pick him out. Perisic back in. I'm happy. Perisic needed the rest as well after the Juventus match where he picked up a little knock. Di Marco did a great job against Empoli, but I think it makes sense for Perisic to come back in. And then also, of course, Di Marco can come in the second half to give him rest if needed. And yeah, as we said, Dumfries has to be the redemption match. He has to impress. Who is he up against? Dumfries will be up against. Is he up against Molina? Or because Driga Larsen usually is a right wing back as well, but it looks like he's playing on the left. So yeah, Dumfries should be able to go up against Striga Larsen. He's not the best wing back out there. Striga Larsen primarily remember him for that stupid ass handball he did against the AC Milan last season. One of the most stupid and shady handballs you'll ever see in Serie A. I mean, his hand was like right up there. What was he doing? So as last week, I thought that that match was the right match for Dumfries to step in my opinion. But yeah, if this is the match, this is also a decent match for him to step in. It's not the most difficult opposition. If this is the match where Dumfries, you have to, if you can't perform against the likes of Udinese, the Empolis and these types of teams, then you're not good enough for Inter. And as I said, we're gonna give him time. I don't want to jump on his back like a lot of people are, like already calling him the new Dalbert and all that kind of stuff. But we need Dumfries. This is not a development academy. We need these guys to start performing. And talking about we needing people to start performing, Tucu Correa, my guy. You guys know I like Correa, but he's not living up to the price tag. His injury issues are becoming concerning. His general substitute appearances haven't been too convincing either, apart from the Hellas Verona one, which is carrying his Inter career at the moment. And so it's going to be a brand new front two of Dzeko Correa, which we haven't seen until now from the beginning. Anyway, we've seen it, I think, in through a match, but we haven't seen it from the start. And yeah, Correa, like Sanchez did last match round, he has to grab the chance with both hands. I'm sad for Sanchez, actually. I felt like, Udinese is his former team as well. I felt like he deserved to start another match. But with this is what I was saying. I feel like these are the type of matches where you do need to start, if you can, experiment a little bit, because these experiments will yield results later on in the season. Like if you find out that Correa and Dzeko have a really good partnership, then this will help us further in the season. If I would have liked to have seen Alexis and Dzeko from the beginning. As I said, I feel like that's a partnership we haven't seen until now. But yeah, maybe we'll get to see it in the second half. Who else have we got in the house? Indro says going to the toilet stadium. Looks like Turin have a sanitary problem nowadays. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Turin these days. Good morning, Ali. Yes, let's hope for a good match tomorrow. Yeah, not good from Juve fans, to be honest. They need to be supporting their team even if it's going through a bad period. Badr in the house as well. Sheriff, thank you very much for your donation, man. You're a channel member and you're also supporting the channel like this. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, sir. Who is the danger man from Udinese nowadays? Pereira, Molina. Yeah, I think those two, Pindro, you pretty much picked the right two guys I was going to talk about when it comes to Udinese. Not much to talk about, guys. The guys need to just make sure you get 3 points there. Silvestri in goal, replacing Musso. He's a guy that was linked with Inter, good goalkeeper, very good signing from them. Only 3-4 million, very smart signing. But I feel like he's a slight step down from Musso. Backline, they're all pieces of S, as people would say. Especially Becao. This guy's got such a punchable face, one of the most punchable faces in Serie A. Always, doing dirty little niggly fouls. Him and Lautaro, actually, if you remember, in that 5-1 Udinese match, really got into it. I think Lautaro even had to be substituted because he was so nervous. Him and Becao just kept, doing some stuff to each other, like fouling and elbowing and saying stuff to each other. I think is that Brazilian versus Argentina type thing. Noinchik in the middle, Samiria. It's not a great lineup, but the thing is, they'll sit back real deep. Actually, yeah. Let me get some little Udinese. Who did they play last? Because there was against when they play against Hellas Verona last time round. I think one of the goals is a very good example of what these guys do. This is on the counter. Isaac's success scoring. This is one thing you have to make sure you don't lose. You don't lose the ball in these types of positions that are right up here, because they will punish you. And then the goal that Udinese conceded is also a good example of what the type of goals that you need to. Where is it? Oh no, actually, there's a penalty that they conceded. What was the example that I was looking for? Oh yeah, it was this one. Barrow against them. Bologna played them. Where is the goal? It was a goal where they pretty much had the whole back line there. There it is. They're all, look at them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players there, all at the back. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna sit back at but what you have to do is make sure that we got Bologna here have 5 players, 6 with this guy here, Barrow, making the run. You have to pack the box. You have to take risks when you have to try to you can't outnumber them, but you have to try get. And these runs behind, as we're talking about, Vidal, Dumfries, I can see if Dumfries can make this type of run where Brozovic or Hakan, someone can try to pick him out with the ball like that, this is the way that you can undo that Udinese defense, the Udinesis defense for sure. Apart from that, Pereira, as I said, main man, he's kind of going to be roaming in behind Beto. It could be also Deulofeu starting. He's also a danger man. He scored a couple of goals this season. But yeah, Molina's one to watch out because Molina, he's been linked to Inter, and I do like Molina. He starts now. He's the starting right back for Argentina international team. He had a good season for Udinese last year. We know Inter and Argentinians in general. He's a decent player. So definitely watch out Molina. And tell me after the match, when we do the match reaction tomorrow, what your thoughts were on Molina. Could he possibly be, possible future right wing back for Inter if things don't work out with Dumfries? So yeah, make sure to keep an eye out on him. And apart from that, it's a very workhorse midfield. Not much to say about the Udinese midfield apart from that. Last time we played Udinese, Perisic scored a banger. Hope he does that again. Yeah, he did. But as I said, that match was probably, I wouldn't really count that match. It was kind of like, at the end of the season when the Udinese didn't really care anymore and Inter were just in cruise control mode. I face Silvestri is going to be in ISIS mode tomorrow. Yeah, it is a fair. Silvestri is a good goalkeeper, but he's not Musso. Rotation is a must. November we'll need a fully fit squad. Yeah, now, fingers crossed. I mean, even Sensi's fit, so we've literally got a fully fit squad. But the international break is coming after the Milan derby, so let's see how long this lasts for. It never usually lasts very long, but yeah, rotation. He's definitely rotating more than. Maybe he's not rotating the back line more than Conte, but he's definitely rotating the rest of the team, Inzaghi, more than Conte ever was. Ivar says, time for Correa to deliver. People like to slander Dumfries, but Correa is the biggest disappointment so far. Well, I disagree. I mean, we can't blame Correa too much because he's actually been injured most of the time. Even when he's had those few substitute appearances, he's kind of coming back from, because even the last international break, he was injured for Argentina. And even the last, before the Empoli match, the Juventus match, he was out of the squad because of injury. So he's been more because of the injury issues more than Dumfries has actually not been injured. Dumfries has actually, been fine. He's just not adapted yet. But I expect Dumfries not to be able to adapt yet. With Correa, he's a guy who's been in Serie A. He's played in the 3-5-2. He's played under Inzaghi. He needs to do a bit more for sure. And being the 31 million signing. I need Erdogan army against ISIS. Yeah, Hakan with his Erdogan salute. Rather give Alexis another start. Correa needs to earn the start by performing first from the bench like Alexis does. Yeah, I agree. I think Alexis should have started this match, but as we've been saying, man, Correa was the big signing for Inzaghi. He wanted Correa, so there must have been a reason. He's our big summer signing, 31 million. So these are the type of matches. We're not going to start Correa in the Milan derby. I can pretty much guarantee he's not going to get to start that match. So the only way you can't experiment with Correa in the Champions League, because that's another must win match. At least in the Serie A, you can get away with, like, as we've seen, even if the first half isn't great, second half you bring Sanchez on, you bring Lautaro on. In the Champions League though, you'll be punished. Sheriff on the counter will punish you. You can't afford to do that in Champions League at the moment. With Serie A, it's the quality of the opposition. You can still afford to kind of do these types of things. And if you're not going to do it now, then when are you going to do it? So I do want Lexis to start this match, but Correa, if we want to give Correa playing time and a time to adapt, this is the type of matches where he needs to do it. And then if Correa does perform in this match, then you already start to change your mind about Correa. I was like, oh, okay, so he is a proper alternative to Alexis and Lautaro, maybe. The danger man from Udinese is Silvestri. I know he's going to deliver Buffon check performance against us. Yeah, we always know the goalkeepers against Inter are always, prime Manuel Neuer. These guys are absolutely mad. But I remember last time round for Hellas Verona, Silvestri wasn't that good. Last time we played last season. Pregnancy magic can revive since his career at Inter. Yeah, we're waiting for that. We're waiting for that baby to come through, come out. Saw some pictures of Sensi looking smiling and happy in training. So yeah, with Sensi, you just have to give him some time, and before you start, starting him in matches, because it's always risky against teams like this. An early goal is key. Yeah, but that is true. The early goal opens up the match, because these guys happy to finish 0-0 if they that would be the ideal result actually for Udinese. they don't care one bit if they come out. They'll be happy with the draw coming out of San Siro. Let's have actually a quick look. They're 14th in the table at the moment. So they are, so they had 3 1-1 draws in the last matches. Oh, bloody hell, how many draws? So they had the draw against Verona, the draw against Atalanta. So in the big match, they've done quite well against Atalanta. Drew against Bologna. Then this is some friendly. Then they drew Sampdoria, and then they lost against Fiorentina. So yeah, these guys are very happy to just draw out matches. What other big matches have they played this season? Oh, they got smashed by Napoli. That's what we need to do. Napoli type of performance. That's what we needed. And then Roma beat them 1-0. That is also fine. Whatever gets the 3 points, but we need to make a big statement performance before the derby. And that's the thing, yeah. Early goal opens up the gates. Who's the best duo with Correa, Lautaro or Dzeko? Now that's the thing. That's what we need to find out, guys. Sendo, especially, we don't know yet. For Argentina, Lautaro and Correa have played together, so maybe that could be the best partnership, but we don't know. They haven't played together at Inter. Playing for Argentina, where they play in a different formation, is different style of play in international football. Could Dzeko and Correa be the best partnership? Up until now, I think it still is Lautaro and Dzeko, because those are the two best strikers. Maybe their partnership isn't the best at the moment, but if it's a do or die match, is a final match, who are you starting? You're starting Lautaro and Dzeko. But I think a more creative guy in this team behind those two guys might be, especially in a match like this against this closed team. And Correa in the past has shown that he can unlock a defense like Udinese. I've seen he scored a great solo goal for Lazio once against Udinese. He went past a couple of guys and slotted the ball in. So these are the type of matches where I think Correa has been signed for. These types of matches where you need individual brilliance, you need something a little bit different, something that Conte's team used to struggle a little bit, where the PlayStation play, the memorized moments, the memorized plays didn't quite work out against these teams, because when you have 10 guys behind the ball, nothing really works. You need that little moment of 1v1 ability that takes out one player, and then you can start to create danger, create numerical superiority. So these are the type of matches where Correa, when we signed Correa, this is what I was saying, that Inter can he even trying to win a penalty or something, doing something out of the ordinary that Inter teams haven't been able to do. This is what we need from Correa in this match. So yeah, all eyes are definitely on Correa. and hope he steps up, because I do want Correa to succeed really badly. I do like him. Have my doubts about Correa. Indra says, I'm not sure if the duo is going to work at Inter. Even Argentina, two of them really play together since Messi always plays. Yeah, I mean, the Argentina team is just impossible to get in. Dybala can't get into that team. Papu Gomez, even when he was at his best, barely got into that team. It's a difficult team to get in. Does Inzaghi shift formations like Conte did last 2 seasons? We don't. Yeah, Conte used to go to like a 5-4-1 sometimes when defending a lead. We haven't really seen that from Inzaghi much. There have been moments where we have gone like 4 at the back, but that's when we're chasing a match when Di Marco comes on. But yeah, I haven't really looked at it properly. That's what we're gonna do. Me, Mo, in a few days, or maybe next week, or in an international break, we're gonna do a video comparing tactically the differences between Conte's Inter and Inzaghi's Inter, and then we'll try to analyze, what are the formations in play that Inzaghi has played as well. We're gonna try to look at, Barella's role, the difference in Barella's role, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna try, use Mo's tactical brain. What would do to have Ericsson back and playing under Inzaghi? Yeah, man, it was sad news yesterday that pretty much Inter announced semi-officially that in Ericsson's time at Inter is pretty much done because he's not allowed to play at Inter. But yeah, I always say Ericsson would have enjoyed playing under Inzaghi. He would have been given a lot more freedom compared to Conte's team, and yeah, it's a shame. Badr asks, would you prefer an in-game switch to 3-4-3 if needed? We have the ideal squad for that. Yeah, I think we do have a squad for that. I think it depends how you see it. I think the 3-4-3 can only work if you've got both Barella and Brozovic, but they have to be a lot more disciplined. And that has to be a chasing the match type of formation. I don't think it can work from the beginning, because that Barella can definitely do that role, but then he's going to be a lot deeper. Brozovic is going to be a lot deeper. You kind of limit those two, and then you rely a lot more on the front three. But our front three, I think a 3-4-3, you need more winger type players. I think what Conte had at Chelsea, whereas Hazard and Willian, guys that can create things, can beat men, have a bit of pacing behind as well. We've got our strikers are strikers apart from Sanchez and Correa, but Sanchez is almost like an attacking midfielder, and he hasn't got that explosiveness anymore. And yeah, Correa, we don't really know what he is at the moment, so we still need to find out. I think for that formation, I feel like you need more wingers in that type of formation. But yeah, I think definitely when you're chasing a match, you could put Sensi in behind one of the strikers. You could put Sensi, Sensi Correa, Sensi Lautaro. We've got a lot of options for that. But you could even put Hakan in that role in behind. So we definitely possibly work in that formation. But I think defensively it's not going to be solid. Yeah, we all want to see Sensi fit, man. Limone tried to play him as Regista. Yeah, I think Inzaghi did mention, because Conte did not see Sensi as a regista, even though Mancini for Italy sees him as a possible regista. When he plays for Italy, a few times he's played as a regista, Sensi, and I think Inzaghi sees him as a regista. I see him as a regista, but obviously in a regista when we're in a match where we're dominating possession, not against in the big matches where we need Sensi defensively. But yeah, I think he's, in my mind, the ideal vice Brozovic. Yeah, I mean, if we played in more like a 4-3-1-2, that maybe could work. But I wouldn't even say Correa as an attacking midfielder. I think he really is a very specific kind of just a roaming second striker. Like he's a very he's a hard player to kind of describe, but maybe he could be a good attacking midfielder as well. Yeah, that's the issue. We don't really have any wingers in this team. You could maybe, Conte tried it last year. Conte tried the 3-4-2-1 against Hellas Verona last year. I remember last season he tried to match up 3-4-2-1, and it was Lautaro and Perisic behind Lukaku, and it did not work. Perisic looked lost there, and Lautaro didn't look great there. So that was a bit of a failed experiment. I think Bastoni can perform left wing back role. Yeah, I mean, if it's an emergency, but he could do that. He always does bomb up and down a lot of times. He offers that overlapping run, so he could definitely do it, but it's definitely not ideal. He's not. It's not his ideal position, but if we're struggling for players, it could work out. But yeah, guys, give me your match predictions. Half an hour gone. Are we going for another clean sheet? Or Udinese are they gonna sneak in a goal? I'm confident. Under Inzaghi, I'm quite confident against these smaller teams. It's the big matches right now with Inzaghi that my doubts are coming in. I feel like this Inter team can break down these teams. I'm going for let's go for another clean sheet. King Abdullah is going for a 2-0. Sharif is going for a 2-0. Julian's going for a 2-0. Kuro Black is going for a 3-1. Filippo saying Chala to Ranocchia. Yeah, let's Chala back in the lineup. So you see, always this, as we said last match, there's always one between Chala and Di Marco. Notice as the season goes on if this is true, because it seems like it is true. Inzaghi wants to keep one of these set pieces in the team at some point. And that's probably I like that. That could be I could see Ranocchia or Skriniar getting a set piece goal. Although Udinese are quite good in the air, they've got quite a tall team. Let's go for a Indra says 2-0 as well. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 just because how difficult I think Udinese are going to make it. Another 2-0. Yeah, I do want like Correa to get a goal or an assist or something, like to get his confidence going, and Denzel. All right, let's go for go on there. Let's go for a 2-0. Let's go for a 2-0. Loom's not confident about a clean sheet. Yeah, I think Dzeko will score. I think Skriniar will score, or Denzel will score one. I think one defender and one striker will score. And then we can go into the Sheriff match with confidence, and then we can go into the Milan derby with confidence. Yeah, I'm happy with that. If we get 2-0 victory, another clean sheet, that's the most important thing. Actually, quickly before we go, just comparing this. I'm gonna do this actually every. I'll try to, if I remember, every match before or through the season anyway, unless we start to go really, really bad. I'm going to compare the current standings to last season. So, you guys know I like to use that Soccer Stats website that lets you compare the previous seasons and that. So, we're still exactly on pace as last season. We've conceded 2 less goals than last season and scored the exact same amount of goals. So, we're on track. We're on track compared to last season. It's just that, Milan and Napoli right now are going on a different pace. So, we just need to keep the pace. That's the only way. So 3 points is the only way to keep it. And as you guys know, every match preview or review, this is the column that I'm concerned with. We've improved. We were below Atalanta and Sassuolo and Juventus last match round, but now we're above them. And now I want to go ahead of Torino. I want to keep the number to 12 for goals conceded. And we have to hope for Roma to keep it to 10. I want them to do a job for us against our cousins AC Milan, and of course keep this number right on top. So, and then of course we got to move this number right to the very top. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. 35-minute match preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys are leaving a thumbs up and subscribing. And thank you for joining me on this odd timing. It was a morning match preview, which is not usual, but tomorrow is a morning match, so why not? Thank you guys, and I'll see you for the post-match reaction tomorrow. Make sure you join me tomorrow for the post-match, which hopefully will be a positive one. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter.